Hunter Dickinson is back for Michigan for one more season. Let's talk about it. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 takeaways from Hunter Dickinson's announcement that he is returning to Michigan and what it means for the Wolverines next season. But first, go over to our YouTube channel. Please click subscribe. It would benefit us greatly. We just started a series called Drunk Scouts where we're going to break down the game of every single NBA lottery talent leading up to the NBA draft while playing a drinking game. We also do weekly episodes of all the hottest news in sports, weekly podcast episodes, weekly live audio episodes on Spotify Live. Basically, we do a lot of stuff. And if you like this video, you should like it all. Subscribe. Back to the much more important topic at hand. Hunter Dickinson is back. The best player on Michigan from last season is back for another season. And spare me the jokes, Michigan State fans. Oh, he doesn't want to play in Europe. Boo-hoo. You know what else he likes? Money. He's going to get some of that money for playing in Ann Arbor. You know what else he likes? Putting 36 points on Julius Marble's head. Oh, wait. Julius Marble's not in East Lansing anymore. Interesting. I'm getting sidetracked. Back to the 5 takeaways. Number 1, Michigan's floor next season is now an NCAA tournament team. Sounds a little bit crazy to say that. Program that's made 7 consecutive Sweet 16s, but it's the truth. If Hunter Dickinson had departed, we have no idea what next year's Michigan team would have looked like, and they could have been really, really bad pending the other NBA decisions here. Look, at the very least, Hunter Dickinson, 95% of nights is going to be the best player on the floor. Yeah, he's moody. Yeah, some games he's not all the way mentally there. But even if he's the exact same player he was last season, he's the leading candidate for Big Ten Player of the Year now that Kofi Coburn and all of the other monsters are gone. And no matter who else is back, no matter who else is around him, that's an NCAA tournament team. Number 2, and this one's going to sound a little harsh, it doesn't matter what MOUSSA Diabate does. Notice I'm not saying Caleb Houston. I'll get to that as well. MOUSSA's a great prospect. I love the kid. I love watching him play. He's athletic. He's intense. He's a freak. Frankly, he's a guy that Michigan hasn't had a lot of guys like. But the fit with Hunter's always been a little weird. And even if the numbers don't say that, the eyes and the mind and the heart do. He's a tweener. Is he a 4? Is he a 5? All I know is if he's a 4 next to Hunter Dickinson, the team has spacing issues. And honestly, MOUSSA wasn't very great defensively. Despite all the gifts that he has, he was confused more often than not having to guard 4s next to Hunter. I'm not saying that MOUSSA would be back if Hunter was gone, but I kind of feel like there might have been some closed-door conversations on the fit here and exactly what's best for either player. I don't think we'd see the best MOUSSA Diabate next to Hunter Dickinson, and I don't think we'd see the best Hunter Dickinson next to MOUSSA Diabate. I mentioned Caleb Houston. It does matter that he's back because this team desperately needs shooting. Caleb Houston's going to shoot the ball better next year. He was great at home. He was really bad on the road. But that leads me to point number 3. Shooting matters. When you think about building the best team possible around Hunter Dickinson, just put 4 shooters out there. Let him get a touch every possession, go to work. If you send a double, he's going to pass and hit an open guy. If you don't send a double, he's baseline spinning and putting one on your head. But that's the problem, isn't it, with Michigan last season? MOUSSA Diabate is not a shooter. Devontae Jones half the time was a willing shooter, but he wasn't knocked down. And Caleb Houston, anywhere outside of Ann Arbor, was not a shooter. You take Eli Brooks away, now what do you do? You're looking at Frankie Collins, who had the worst air ball attempt I've ever seen in my life last season and can't make free throws, let alone 3s. You've got a player to be named starting at the 2. If it's Kobe Buffkin, his jumper's pretty, but it doesn't go in. If it's a transfer portal guy, Terrence Shannon. There's a lot of questions about how good of a shooter he is. Look, I think Juwan Howard's going to figure this out, but I'm curious exactly what it's going to look like. Because we know we don't have a shooter at the point. We're never going to see the best version of Hunter Dickinson if he's surrounded by non-shooters. Number 4, Michigan is instantly a more appealing destination for transfers. Looking at you, Terrence Shannon. Look, I'm not going to get into how likely or unlikely it is that Terrence Shannon commits. He's been dropping a lot of emojis on Hunter Dickinson-related announcements. But the bottom line is whether it's Shannon or someone of a similar caliber to Shannon, you want to play at Michigan when you can play alongside guys like Hunter Dickinson. You can be a national championship contender if you're a really good player and you're playing next to Hunter Dickinson. They've got to figure some other things out, but the talent of this team next year is not going to be a question. There's some holes in the backcourt, and if I'm a backcourt guy in the transfer portal, why not make my way to Ann Arbor, maybe get a little money on the side, and play with a potential All-American and Hunter in the front court? Can you imagine how less appealing Michigan would be if Hunter Dickinson wasn't on this roster? Like, hey, want to come play with 2 of Juwan's sons and Efton Reed? Side note, Hunter talks that shit. He's probably a really fun teammate on the court. I feel like I would enjoy playing with that dude. My 5th and final takeaway, name, image, and likeness is doing its job. It passed the first test as far as that university in Ann Arbor is concerned. Now, they didn't disclose much of anything, but Hunter got the bag. And that's a good thing, by the way. For the record, for this sport, that's a great thing. Let the players make their money. Hunter's probably making a lot more money in Michigan than he is wherever he would have ended up in the G League or overseas. And look, I still think Hunter Dickinson can be an NBA player someday. If Luka Garza can do it, Hunter can 100% do it. But regardless, college is dope. And I'm not a 7'1" guy with a ratchet who makes the Sweet 16 every year. Probably would have had more fun if I was Hunter Dickinson than I did in college. And if I could make a ton of money, like six-figure level money, and play basketball on the big stage in college, I'm 100% taking that. And there were questions and concerns with the way admissions handles things. It's good to see that the University of Michigan is passing that test as far as NIL goes. They're probably going to have to spend some more if they want a guy like Terrence Shannon. I have one final point that didn't make my 5 takeaways, but I just want to say it. I'm very curious to see if Hunter Dickinson matures a little bit. Last year at Big Ten Media Day, he was grabbing trophies. He was antagonizing Illinois, Michigan State, damn near everybody in the conference. I kind of think that Hunter thought that winning the Big Ten was easy. Because his freshman year, it kind of was. That team was loaded. The Big Ten wasn't that great. And they did their thing. He was an All-American. I think he thought it was just going to be press a button repeat. Not exactly the case. Everybody knows they underachieved compared to the talent they have. Hunter's going to be the face of this league next year. I'm pretty curious if he's still going to come in talking that shit. He's still going to be pointing at whoever's on the Maryland sideline. He's still going to be doing the too small thing to Tom Izzo, who's actually a very small human, by the way. But maybe Hunter has learned a lesson not to crown himself a little too early. And if you get a motivated Hunter Dickinson, put my head down and work Hunter Dickinson, some really, really, really good things could happen for Michigan basketball. Appreciate everybody watching. I'm Greg Waddell with Sleepers Media. Subscribe to the channel to see more like this. I really want to hit a go blue right now, but as a quote-unquote media member, that's not appropriate. We'll see y'all next time.